Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. In this class, we are going to discuss about the types of beams. First, what is a beam? Beam is a structural member which will carry the transverse load acting on it. First, here what are the different types are available in respect to the beam. First, we should know. So beam. So in beam, we are having a simply supported beam. Simply supported beam. Next we are having a cantilever beam. Then we are having overhanging beam. Next we are having the continuous beam. Next we are having another thing is called a fixed beam. Fixed beam. Finally we are having proper cantilever beam. So these are the types of beam we are having: simply supported beam, cantilever beam, overhanging beam, continuous beam, fixed beam, and propped cantilever beam. First, we should know what is a simply supported beam. So simply supported beam is a beam. First, I can repeat it first one by one. So simply supported beam, which is simply it is notified that SSB, simply supported beam. So it's a horizontal member that is called a beam, which is having a support here as well as here. So both the ends, left and right extreme ends are being supported. Supported by one is hinged support, another one is hinged or roller support. Okay, only these type of supports will be there for simply supported beam, in which we are having the loads can be applied. Okay, that is called transverse load having from magnitudes P1, P2, we can have it. Okay, so this is called simply supported beam. Then we can go for the cantilever. Then cantilever beam. If it is cantilever beam, so then here structural member is there, but the support will be a fixed support. Okay, it can be either this end or that end. That means one end of the beam is fixed and another end will be free. That is called cantilever beam. Next we are having the overhanging beam. For overhanging, it is overhanging. So the ends will not be carrying any supports. So in between, okay, in between we are having supports. Then that is called overhanging beam, in which we are having loads. Okay, so type of loads we will discuss later. Okay, P1, P2, P3, like that we can have it. Okay, no need to focus on the loads here. We can focus on the supports. Okay, we can focus on supports and where it acts. That is the thing to classify the types of beam. Here it is called the overhanging beam. Next, continuous beam. For a continuous beam, continuous means the road itself having that continuous. That means the supports are being continuously given. That means a beam, okay, a beam which is acted on number of supports. It means more than two supports. More than two supports are there in a beam. That is called, that kind of beam is called a continuous beam, in which you can have number of loads as well as number of different types of loads you can use it. Okay, this is called a continuous beam. Next, for fixed beam. Okay, the word itself is saying that fixed. So one end is fixed, then it is called the cantilever already discussed. If another end is also fixed, then this is called a fixed beam. This is called a fixed beam. Okay. So here the number of supports are 2, but that supports are being fixed support only. Okay, that is called a fixed beam. And finally, we can have called a cantilever beam. Here it is called a proper cantilever beam. Okay, since this is cantilever beam, proper cantilever beam means another support being acted on the end. This and let's have here. Can have another support, hinge support or roller support. Okay, one extra support is there in the other end. That's called a proper cantilever beam. So this is about the types of beams. One more thing I want to tell you about what is statically determinate. Okay, statically determinate. Statically determinate beam. Okay. And a statically indeterminate beam. Statically indeterminate beam. Okay. Statically determinate and indeterminate. So before going this one, we should have statically equilibrium equations. Based on that only, we are going to discuss about this statically determinate or indeterminate. So statically equilibrium, that means the resultant force is 0. Okay, so the sum of horizontal movement, okay, the algebraic sum of all horizontal forces, okay, are 0. As soon as algebraic sum of all vertical forces are 0, algebraic sum of moments about a particular point, okay, that is equal to 0. These three equations are called statically equilibrium equations. Okay, now in a beam, the reactions are the generally unknown values, because whatever the loads are being applied on a beam, the supports are only holding the load. Okay, so how much load can be shared by the number of supports or each support, that has to be evaluated. So those are the unknowns. Okay, if those type of unknown reactions can be fully solved by using these three equations, then the beam is called statically determinate beam. But in statically determinate beam, we cannot find the type of support reactions by using only these three equations, but we need extra equation or additional equation to find out the types of unknowns, okay, the reactions. Then those kind of beams are called statically indeterminate beam. Okay, so we need additional equation in statically indeterminate beam to find the unknown reactions. Okay, so what are the things coming under statically determinate beam? So simply called as simply supported beam, then cantilever beam, overhanging beam. Okay, these are all coming under statically determinate beam, but in statically indeterminate beam we can have continuous beam. Continuous beam we are having. Next, propped cantilever beam. So propped cantilever beam, and finally fixed beam also. Fixed beam also coming under statically indeterminate beam. Here the number of reactions here more than 2. Okay, the number of unknowns are more than 2 because we are having only these two are effective one. Sigma b equal to 0, sigma m equal to 0. These are the effective one. If we are having only purely vertical loads are applied on the beam, so that only 2 unknowns, more than 2 unknowns are there in the beam, those kind of beams are called statically indeterminate beam. So those things have been classified under this. Once again, I am telling that statically determinate beam. Under this, we are having statically simply supported beam, cantilever beam, overhanging beam. In statically indeterminate beam, we are having continuous beam, proper cantilever beam, fixed beam. So we are having this kind of classification based on the statically equilibrium equations to find the reactions, whether the equations are sufficient or not. Okay, so we can have another session in the next class. Thank you.